shifters, entrepreneurs on the move, with your host, Amanda Barr, bringing you power-packed 15-minute conversations with entrepreneurs who share their stories of shifting in life and business to keep on the move. Welcome to the show. This is your host, Amanda Barr. When you hit rock bottom, you have two choices: to stay there or shift. Our special guest today, Remy Meraz, CEO and founder of Me Tyme Network, shares her story of shifting through chronic anxiety, ADHD, and life situations that have brought to life a new way of treatment for emotional health. Welcome to the show, Remy.
Thank you so much for having me, Amanda. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited just to dive in, and I'd love to start us off with maybe just telling the listeners about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So my name is Remy Meraz, and I'm the founder and CEO of Me Tyme. And Me Tyme is a behavioral health platform that helps employees stop emotional stressors in real time.
Wow. And how did this idea come about? I'd like to unpack that a little bit.
Oh, there's so much to unpack. But essentially, it came about from both some experiences that I had personally and professionally. I'll start with the personal side. I grew up in a very multicultural family where there was a lot of stigma around not only getting help for your problems, but talking about your problems. You know, we would tend to ignore and pretend that things weren't happening. And we had some tragedies strike the family where my sister attempted suicide, and luckily she failed. But that experience forced everybody to get help at one point or another. And so I got to witness firsthand what therapy can do, not only for individuals, but also for a family. And we broke generational cycles of behavior, and it really transformed the family. And for me, I got diagnosed with chronic anxiety and ADHD in my mid-30s. And that was life-changing for me. It was literally a gift. That's how I saw it. But they had told me that I was going to have to be on medication for the rest of my life. And that didn't sit well with me. And when I started doing some research, I learned that chronic anxiety is highly treatable, but less than 30% of people actually get treated. So when I went back to the doctor with this information, he was like, oh, well, yeah, you can. you can get treated, but it takes a lot of work. And I said, well, I'm willing to do the work. And he said, okay, well, you should go work with a cognitive behavioral therapist, and they'll basically help you rewire your brain. I'm like, okay, I'm always up for a challenge. Let me go do that. And by doing the work with the therapist, I was able to get off the medication, the anxiety medication, within 3 years, and the ADHD medication took me a little bit longer. But the point being is I was able to do it by doing the work. So I understand firsthand the power of, you know, getting help and doing the work. On the professional side of things, I was very fortunate that I worked for some great companies, from startups to Fortune 500 companies. I've always had great leadership and was always exposed to professional development training, peak performance training, coaching, etc. And what I noticed was that those offerings would tend to have, be available for salespeople or management, but not to everybody. And when I would speak to my clients, my customers, and also leadership, I would often ask a question that went like this: so what's your number one headache today? And I would always get the same response over the years. It never changed. And that response was people. My number one headache is people, because I spend more time managing people and their problems versus the business. So for me, when I started looking into it some more in the research, I saw a lot of gaps and holes on the business side of things, where 85% of employers offer employee assistance programs, but less than 3% of employees actually engage with them. So I just took all of this information and I thought, hey, what if I could create a tool that would give people the opportunity to get exposure to the type of training and learning that I've had through therapy and coaching and put it to them at their fingertips through a digital platform. And so here we are, building that out.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for just opening up and kind of sharing that. It gives a whole new dimension to what you're doing and where you're coming from. I know a lot of these ideas, they come from our personal lives and what we've gone through. And wow. So can you describe just a little bit about how everything is set up for somebody, since it's really accessible for anybody in a company? How are you guys' platform set up for them to use it?
Yeah, so we're going to businesses and presenting this as a subscription amenity to any current employee assistance program that they have, or part of a wellness program. It also serves under learning and development and talent management. And so we're going to companies and saying, hey, get this as a subscription and for your employees. And the platform itself, think of it like a Netflix for emotional health, but with interactive capabilities. So we have very short form content, what we call snackable content, video content that features therapists and life coaches. We also have inspirational stories. We have some experiential exercises that help the users see how their choices are playing out in life. It allows them to step outside of the box and see how they're showing up in the world. And that's really to help improve the emotional intelligence. And, instead of reacting to problems, they can make better choices on how they respond. And, we launched this last month and have been, hitting the ground running and gone out as best you can in a COVID situation, right?
Yes.
It's definitely changed the landscape of business and how you go about doing business and getting customers. But yeah, it's been very interesting. And also, during this time when we are at a space and time in the world when people are more stressed out than ever before. And so it couldn't be a more opportune time for us to, try to help as many people as possible.
Absolutely. I know that anxiety, there's a lot of people that deal just with that alone, and knowing that there's an opportunity or a way that you don't have to take medication. It takes more work. I've dealt with it myself through my life, and you're I'm interested.
Right.
Might be. I mean, work in general can be stressful and life can be stressful, but having a way that that if you put it into practice, that can help you. This is incredible. Tell me, I'm interested, what are your long-term goals for this? Because this could be totally transformational for so many people and so many companies.
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Tell me.
Oh, yeah, your long-term goals for your
long-term goals.
Yeah, long-term goals. What are you hoping to
big
accomplish?
Goals, big vision. My goal is to take Me Tyme, international and global with multi-language and help 1 billion people on the planet. It's, stress is universal. Anxiety is universal. People have challenges every single day of their life in every aspect of their life. And, why not help as many people as possible? But that's it. The vision has always been driven from a place of wanting to serve and help others. And I'm a true believer that when you're living in your purpose and you found your calling, that everything else falls into place.
Absolutely.
And so it's about building a scalable company that obviously is profitable and generates revenue and taking it as far as possible. And for me, that's helping as many people across the planet as possible.
I love it. Now, since you're in the new stage, but you've been working on this for a while, I'm interested to know this shift. Sometimes when you have an idea and then where does it come to fruition, sometimes might not look exactly the same, but what has happened from the idea of I want to make this happen to today? What shifts have you taken in that business realm to make it happen?
Yeah, that's a great question because there's been many. When we actually started and what it is today is very different. and there's more technology play into it than what we had intended originally. And that came from talking to, the end users, talking to customers, talking to investors. And it was actually a conversation that I had with an investor who said that the talking heads of the video content we had initially with just the therapist wasn't going to be enough. And then we talked to some customers and they said, oh, your competitors have more technology than you do. And so that we went back to the drawing board, and it was talking and listening and to what the customers wanted. And so I think that's a really important takeaway, for people to take in, because we often have an idea and we'll get tunnel vision and we just build it because we see it and that's what we want or we think that people need. But the most important, aspect to this is talking to the people you're trying to reach and understanding what they need and what they want.
Absolutely. That's what we work with companies. It's always like, if you can validate that idea and talk to the end user, you're going to be able to build something they want with the vision that you have, and it's a power combo. I would love to know, since you are definitely on this space of like helping people move forward, and this just sounds like your life, but I would love to know, where do you go, or how do you shift forward in your life or in the business? Where are you getting that inspiration or motivation?
Well, nowadays it's just turn on the news, right? And everything that's going on in the world, it's like, okay, we're needed. But for me, entrepreneurship is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I didn't understand that, when people used to tell me that in the beginning. And we've been at it for a while. We've been bootstrapping it, and you have to hit certain milestones before you can get investment. And when I started this business, I was going through a divorce, and I had gotten laid off from my great 6-figure job that was going to, pay all the bills and self-fund everything. And all of that went away, and my life was completely turned upside down. And as a result of those two things happening at the same time, I was actually homeless for a little while. And and so it was the support of 2 friends, a couple, longtime friends who are married, who said, we believe in you, Remy, and you can come stay with us while you get this off the ground. So surrounding myself with positive, like-minded people who believed in me, right, and believe in the vision has served me really well. And that you have to have those types of people in your life, but also people who are going to be the truth givers, right, that are going to call you on your stuff and push you when you're feeling stuck or feeling scared or afraid. And then the second thing for me has been really adopting a healthy lifestyle and feeding my mind, body, and soul with nutritional things and nutritional activities, and to maintain your energy and maintain the focus and the clarity. And I can't say enough about the importance of exercise and meditation and eating right, and so that you can stay in the marathon for as long as possible. And
it's amazing how much
how much it helps, right? And I'll tell you with the working out piece, I started this journey, a fitness journey last year, where I said I was going to work out every day, and it was really about a lesson in discipline. And I read this quote from a thought leader that I follow, Kute Blackson, who said, if you can work out every day or when you least want to, that is the ultimate form of discipline and self-care and self-love.
Wow.
And so I did it. I worked out every day for a year, and I'm still going. But what that taught me was that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And working out every day actually gave me an accomplishment every day. So when everything else may seem like it's not working out, and I'll tell you, most days of entrepreneurship, you feel like you're failing. The thing is, you want to feel like you want to fail fast, right? But there's always something going, going wrong, coming up, or you have blind spots and you just don't know, and you're trying to figure things out. And that working out piece and the meditation piece gives me a sense of accomplishment every single day. So it gives you something to hold on to.
Yeah, we like to call them daily wins and incorporating those little things. Yeah, they help so much. Wow, this is such great information. I do want to know, like, if you could go back, because now you went on this path of 365 days of working out and keeping going, and this is a marathon. If you could go back to when you started this, what do you wish you would have known that day?
That it takes longer and more money than you realize.
Yeah.
It takes more resources than you realize. And my background is sales and business development. So I will say that I was a bit naive in the fact that I thought I could just sell people on an idea. And people would buy it, and, there you have it, right? But that's not how it works, especially in the tech world. And that I'm a non-technical founder, and so I had to build a technical team. And but when you're competing, with a bunch of software developers that are really like a dime a dozen now and coming up with ideas and can build things quickly, and you have to show traction. And I didn't understand the importance of the traction piece. And when I look back on, the companies that I worked for before, I was going into well-oiled machines. The last company I worked for prior to taking the leap was a tech startup as well, but they had been at it for 6 years before I came on board as the first salesperson. So now getting to see literally when you're ground zero, right? I didn't get to see all of that from day one. And so going through it, just, it takes time. Everything takes time. And that, again, the marathon piece, that you have to have the stamina. I just had a conversation with a fellow founder yesterday. We were having a meeting, and he's been an entrepreneur for 15 years and has had many startups. And he said, what people don't realize is that you have to have endurance to keep going. And quitting is failing. And sometimes you don't know. It could take, a year. It could take 5 years. But the key is just to keep going, and you got to take action every single day, because life is happening as you're trying to build a company as well. So things come up all the time, and you can't foresee those types of things, and you can't build that into your timeline, and when you're relying on other people to do things for you, you have to build in some cushion there, because they have stuff that comes up as well. So time and money.
Yeah, what comes to mind is the 3 feet from goal. Don't give up if you're just, you never know if you're just one step away from, or one call away, or one action away. And that advice is just priceless, the endurance side of things. And, just for those that are listening today, if you could give like just a piece of nugget, which every part that you shared today is just, you could just soak it up as a sponge and use it. But if you were to say, like, this is my golden nugget to give to somebody to keep them on the move, I know that endurance piece is important and keep going, but what would that potentially be to just keep somebody moving forward in their passion and their dreams? Or even maybe to get healthy and, find peace in their own life.
I think there's so many things, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to, like, why are you passionate about it, right? Like, you always have to dig into the passion piece of it and in your why. And going back to your why is always going to be that driver for you, because there's going to be a lot of things that come at you that will get you down or want to take you out. But if you can always find a way to just tap back into the why and the passion, that's what gets me up every single day. It's just about tapping into the passion and always remembering your why.
Yes, I agree. Well, I would love for those that are listening today that have businesses that are looking for the type of services you provide in that, health and wellness and really finding peace of mind. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can check out our website and you can contact me through there, but it's Me Tyme, METYME.io. And
Perfect.
there's a button there where you can get in contact or schedule a demo. And I'd love to help people, help businesses save on lost productivity costs and help their employees be more productive and perform better.
Absolutely. And I'll include the links as well. So those that are listening, if you want to go ahead and, check out the description of the podcast, you'll be able to gather those links and get in touch with Remy. And thank you so much for just sharing your heart. Thank you for opening up about how your startup has started and the process you've gone through and what's possible for those that are listening today. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, and for all those listening out there, keep on the move.
We hope you enjoyed the episode today. We appreciate each one of you for listening and hope you left inspired and motivated to keep on the move. If you think this episode might help or inspire someone else, please share. Don't forget to subscribe and keep in the loop to hear more incredible stories of entrepreneurs like yourself on the move. Thank you for our supporters, RTB Capital Group, Financial Powerhouse, Callcast, and Power Podcasting. Now, get out there and keep on the move.